We are here just one day away from the NFL draft, and today we will look at the top 3 players the Eagles should target with their first round pick. What is up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly. You know what to do. Hit that thumbs up and do us a favor. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the coverage. I'm going to go through a breakdown and give you my thoughts on the top 3 players the Eagles should look to target. But my question for you is, what do you think? Who should they look at? What positional group should they target? Should they stay put at 22? Should they trade up, trade back? What is your final prediction? What do you think they're going to do? Give me the names down below in the comment section. Now, before we jump into the news as well as my prediction, let's give a shout out to our sponsor of today's show, and that is BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today using our code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. And of course, you can go ahead and put some odds on the NFL draft. So be sure to do that. Shout out to BetMGM. I just want to jump right into it now, man. The Eagles are at pick 22, and there are rumors today. There's news reports coming out per Tony Pauline that the Eagles reportedly desire Quinyon Mitchell and are speculated to move up to make a splash and get him. So Quinyon Mitchell has emerged as probably the number 1 corner in this draft, and that takes me in to pick number 1. I am going to split it here, though. I'm going to say Quinyon Mitchell / Terrion Arnold, and here's why I'm saying that. If the Eagles really want to go up and get Mitchell, I'm just being honest, it's going to be tough to do that. I don't think Mitchell and Arnold will probably be there at 22, and that kind of takes me into more, of my board here. I think the Eagles are going to make a trade up because Howie has done that. We talked about it in the last video. 10 out of the 13 picks have been trades in the first round for the Howie Roseman tenure. And when it comes down to it, if they want to get one of these big-time playmakers, they have to make a move up because I don't think either one is going to be there at 22. Now, there's a whole, conversation going on and a whole debate about should they really draft a corner in the first round? Would Howie Roseman really do that? And for the last couple months, I've stuck to my gut. They're going in the trenches. They're going on the D-line. They're getting an edge rusher or they're getting a right tackle. And deep down in my soul, I still believe they're going to do that because that is the Howie Roseman philosophy. But based on where this team's at, based on what they've done this offseason, let's be honest, they're going to need some corner help. And if one of these players is available or they can make a move to get one, maybe it is not such a crazy prediction that the Eagles end up getting one. But Terrion Arnold, to be quite honest with you, has become my number 1 over the last couple weeks. And just, going back and looking at some of this guy's stuff, like he is probably the most stable corner in this draft. Now, I know people are going to immediately jump out and say, well, Quinyon Mitchell is the best, right? He has size and speed and strength and, he's aggressive and he comes from Toledo and had one of the best years and, he's just overall a great explosive athlete. I'm not disagreeing with that. If the Eagles could get Mitchell, I'm not going to be mad at all. The problem is, and per that report and other things I've saw in the last couple of days, Mitchell's probably going to go around like the 10, 11, 12, 13 mark. So if the Eagles want to get Quinyon Mitchell, they're going to have to make a huge jump. I don't see them doing that. I could see the Eagles moving up maybe like 4 to 5 spots. I don't see them going up to number 11 or 12 to try to jump into, in front of a team like the Raiders to get Mitchell. But when it comes to Terrion Arnold, I think he could go in the mid-teens, maybe the late teens, and the Eagles could definitely make a play to go up and get him. And what I really like about Terrion Arnold is that he feels like the perfect Howie Roseman pick. What do I mean? Well, he went to Alabama, comes from a very stable system. He was tied this last year sixth in the FBS with 5 picks. He was tied for 5th in the FBS with 17 passes defended. He was a first-team All-American. This guy has what it takes to be your long-term CB1, right? Because obviously Bradbury went through it last year, and he may not even be here at the start of the season. Maybe you play Arnold opposite of Slay, and maybe when Slay's done, Arnold ends up becoming CB1 for this team, right? Terrion Arnold comes from a very stable system. He is a stable corner. He's a great athlete. He plays with a lot of attitude in his game. He's good at challenging the ball and really has those press coverage skills. And I just really like his game, to be honest. And again, I think Howie likes to go from the Alabamas of the world. And it just feels right. He feels like the competitive player that plugs right into the system. He could probably play on the outside, or even if you wanted to start him in the slot, I think he would be good there as well. Of course, all these guys have some weaknesses. It's really hard to judge from one or the other, but just watching him, I think he's good as a blitzer. I think he could be a good run defender. And he really, to me, in this draft seems like the more long-term short option rather than like the boom or bust type of player. And he's the number 1 guy that I would go with. Now let's go to the number 2 guy. And this is a different position. Like I said, my gut's still telling me offensive line. And I'm going to go with, guess what? You never would have predicted it. An Alabama player, J.C. Latham, offensive tackle. And the way that this guy was described is the human bulldozer. That's all you need to know. This guy's like 350 pounds. He's an absolute menace and just everything. He's got great balance, size, strength, just an overall natural, talented athlete. Comes from, yet again, a great system, great pass protection, quick hands, and really just a smart overall player. 2nd team All-American. Really feels like a surefire pick. Probably a top 3 offensive lineman in this draft. And really just an absolute monster. And I think this is the more sure pick. The Eagles may have to move up a couple slots to get him. Who knows? He may fall. But J.C. Latham, in my opinion, is, again, another long-term type of option. A guy that you may see down the road being like a 5-6-time Pro Bowler. And what better way? He's a junior coming into the Philadelphia Eagles system, and he could potentially take over for Lane Johnson when he decides to hang it up. And I just think this guy is the perfect pick. He feels like a Howie Roseman pick. The last guy is someone we have talked about before, and people are probably wondering, well, why did he slip? Let's talk about it. Cooper DeJean. And really, I think the basis here is the fit and the need for the fit. You know, like, he fits perfectly into a Vic Fangio system. And people are describing him as a Swiss Army knife and a guy who can kind of do a little bit of everything, a jack of all trades, if you will. And he's very talented. Coming off an injury, though, for sure. But, you know, Cooper DeJean is going to be, in my opinion, a good pro. And I think he's going to be really that explosive type of athlete that jumps off the screen, even from, you know, his first, second year in the NFL. Very explosive, good in zone coverage. And like I said before, you know, he's just like a ball hawk, almost as a receiver. And I know he returns punts and stuff, but, you know, his need down the road, maybe as like a slot corner, like that may be his best fit in a system. You know, maybe he could be a safety. But then again, you look at where the Eagles are at, and I know you're not supposed to draft just for what position you need. Overall, it's like the best talent available at that time. But you just signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Reed Blankenship right now is almost like on another prove-it deal. And do the Eagles really need Cooper DeJean right now? Again, I think he'd be a very talented fit in the Philadelphia Eagles system. And I think if Vic Fangio has any say in this, he may even advocate for a guy like Cooper DeJean. And I know DeJean didn't participate in the combine due to his injury, but he had a private pro day, and he was incredible. A lot of the experts are mocking DeJean to the Eagles at 22, but he's also a guy that could slip back late in the first round due to the injury and things like that. I just don't view it as, you know, the number 1 priority anymore. Maybe Howie goes and picks a guy out of Iowa. I don't see it happening. If it's not Mitchell and it's not Arnold, I don't think they go corner. I think those are by far the top 2. And obviously a lot of people have talked about Nate Wiggins. He would probably be my number 4 on this list, but in my opinion, his frame is just not there yet. And it's a big gamble for a guy you're spending a first round pick on. But maybe Howie does go the Clemson route. But at the end of the day, it is hard to predict. I think there could be a lot of options. Maybe they trade back. Maybe they collect more picks for the future and they say, you know what, screw it. All of our guys got taken and the deal just wasn't there. The right deal wasn't to be had and they move back. I wouldn't be mad at that either. I think the Eagles can go a lot of different ways in this draft. Already reports of them moving up. It seems like Howie may pull the trigger yet again on another draft night trade. So we'll see what happens. Give me your thoughts and predictions down below in the comment section. That being said, appreciate you all. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.